I loved looking at maps. The number one route, continuing on forever, places unknown. And I loved cars because they could take me anywhere. But no matter how much useless trivia I gained, it was all in my imagination, relentlessly chipping away at reality and at my heart. I had a swimsuit, I had maps, but I had no future. There was a world outside my window, but it was nothing that I could touch. If I closed my eyes, I could go to a world without anything in it, but it wasn't as if the real world would disappear for me. I knew all of this. My lifelong companion scars were telling me to get used to this world of closed eyes. And yet, I was still filled with what-ifs, and dreamed of a wild possibilities. But eventually, the yearning never progressed past yearning. The bikini swimsuit, the emerald sea, my huge scars told me that I should give up on them already. But I spent most of my life in a hospital, amidst this world of closed eyes. Hello guys, sorry for the long intro, it's Charjr Ryuki here. Welcome back to Chapter 5, the number one route of Narcissu. It was so sad to only be able to choose between 7F and home. No other options given. However, it was sadder still that I couldn't think of any other places anyway. But I've lived on for 22 years like this. So let me do as I please, just this once. When I murmured those words, I felt time, which should have been standing still, begin to move again. That day, my heart, which should have been standing still, was in torment. January 26th, number one route, here at Suka. The silver coupe whose hood reflected the clear blue skies of winter, wandering around as aimlessly as ever, but at least no more worries about gas or food. Soon enough, we came across a large intersection. I hadn't obtained her approval last night, but I was still heading west regardless. The only problems were that I didn't know the roads at all, and it would be tough on our budget to take the tollways. Those were my thoughts as we drew near the large intersections. I was able to continue heading straight without a single thought when left turn here. Huh? Turn left. An abrupt request. Even as I wondered what was up, I turned left as she had requested onto a very wide road. What was that about? This is number one route. Go straight for now. For now? I was surprised by her sudden direction giving. We'd been together up until now, and she seemed to know just about everything. But this was the first time that she voluntarily given me directions. Could it be that you've decided you want to go after all? Well, you know, to the place we talked about, to Awaji Island. Is that bad? No, that's not what I meant at all. We were driving along without any purpose. I was floundering in a search for some destination, and always Matic. I'm probably screwing that up. But anyway, she was looking into the distance. So the words that had just come out of her mouth took me completely by surprise. It's not that I have any questions or any expectations. What? It's not like I want a swimsuit or anything. Just what do you think you're saying? Nothing at all. "22 route, I didn't even get to catch the last part. The silver coupe shimmered with sunlight underneath the clear winter sky. We'd passed through the steep slopes and sharp curves of Hakone, and now we're in a much more relatively flat area. Hey, around... where are we anyway? Aichi Prefecture. We'll be entering Nagoya City pretty soon. We were driving through the normal highways because we were on too limited budget to use the tollways. I could never have done this alone, but thanks to her we were making good progress. Her instructions more accurate than any navigation system. I didn't know why I felt this way, but I could tell that we were on the right track. The next intersection, turn onto number 22 route, on the 22 route, or route 22. Got it. I turned the steering wheel and changed lanes as I've been told to do. The scenery streaming past the window, the sights and sounds of the city that I'd never seen before spreading to the north. And around the time when the wide open spaces around us had transitioned into urban neighborhoods. Hey, wanna stop here? Some family restaurant at the roadside of the highway. I pointed to it as I drove and kept talking. After all, we've had his convenience store food all the way up until now, right? Of course, it wasn't as if we've been subsisting on convenience store food because we liked it. There was the fact that we had no money, and there was also the fact that we were on the edge. But now we had a little money to spare. That's why I suggested it. After all, a family restaurant can be a nice place to change of pace, you know? Convenience store's food is fine for me. She looked down a little as she said this, as if she was staring at her clothes or something. Oh, fair enough. Speaking of which, those clothes were way too big on her. Alright, then next up, how about stopping by that place? What do you mean by that? Look over on your side, that jeans shop over there. And there stood a jeans and casual wear wholesome chain store that I'd seen on other locations on the normal highways. That kind of store isn't likely to be that expensive either. We're stopping in, alright? I'm stopping now. No reply, but no resistance either. It might well have been. That would be better for me to think of her non-replies as answers to affirmative or something. We went into the store. She peered curiously around the two huge floors of the place, looking into every single corner there was. She was without words, as she always has been, and she may not have looked much different from her usual. But this was a little different from the way she was when she was watching that boring TV that reflected nothing. She examined item after item of clothing and seemed to be considering the prices. And then, whenever she tried on a new outfit, she came running up to me and, "What do you think?" What do I think? I think that looks pretty good on you. It isn't weird? No, I don't think so. And in this fashion, she tried on outfit after outfit, coming to show it off to me every single time. She did not once smile or let any facial expression out, but it seemed to me that she was somehow happy about this. Alright, have you decided? Yeah, I'm going with these. Saying this, she showed me her final outfit, a pretty shirt, and a short skirt. What she'd selected didn't make her look like a middle or a high school student, but she seemed to be pleased enough. Now, if memory served, she told me in the past that she was older than me. But no matter how I looked, that just didn't seem true. Such the opposite, in fact, that I couldn't, help but smile. But you know, maybe it would be better if that skirt were a bit longer. What? Oh, no. I'm not saying it doesn't look good on you at all. See, it's cold, you know, and that kind of outfit. I'll be fine. I'll bear with it. When she spoke these words, I saw a little bit of pink rise to her pale face. For a girl who always kept herself absolutely emotionless, could it be that she was blushing? The first expression of emotion that I've ever seen on her. Back on the road again. The somewhat noisy silver coupe speeding along underneath the high heavens of winter. Get on Route 21 next. Got it. She was acting as the navigator as usual. In no time at all, we had entered Gifu Prefecture. It's probably Gifu. But if this were as usual, she'd only be looking out the window at nothing. But now she was checking herself in the side view mirror over and over as if well pleased. Checking herself in that mirror as if she didn't want me to catch her doing it. What is it? Well, it looks like you're pretty happy with those clothes. That's all. Not really, it's nothing like that. With that, she stopped looking at the side view mirror. But after a little while, she started checking herself again as I watched. So there were awfully cute things about her as well. And even if it was something as small as this, as normal could be, I found it very cute. Around when the sun had darkened into the night, some roadside somewhere, around when we'd finished our dinner, convenience store food again, I wonder what's happened since we left. The white vinyl ID bracelet hanging loosely around my wrist. I remembered those words as I looked at the inscriptions, my blood type and name, and then the name of the hospital. Do you think they're in an uproar? Probably. Yeah. Parents, friends, and doctors. And even if it were only a paper-thin display on their part, I was still a little sorry to think that they might be worried. My bad, Father, everyone. I did something selfish without consulting anyone. Say, what is it? When you first learned that you were going to die, did you cry? I was instantly shocked by her sudden question, and then I was silent as I pondered upon it some. Come to think of it, I don't think I cried. Then did you curse fate, asking why me? I don't remember doing that either. At first I couldn't believe that it was actually happening, as if it weren't part of reality at all. But maybe, just maybe, I did feel something. A little. One of my buddies from the Technical Institute bought a new car, and he was complaining about how he had to take out huge loans. Some got their first jobs, others were still in school, some had children, others got dumped by their girlfriends. But I had no future. So in truth, I think I did wonder why it had to be me. Even if I told myself that this was fate, I think I did feel as if I couldn't accept that. Then, how about you? Me? Yeah. Did you cry or curse fate? I was fine. And why? Because I never hoped for anything from the very beginning. Because I had given up. Is that so? No way to despair if you're given up. From the beginning. Not fun to turn your back that way. But not difficult either. But I couldn't help but feeling that it was just too sorrowful that way. Or it could have been that in her case, there was no other possible course of action. I saw in a movie some time ago that wolves don't live more than 3 years. Wolves? She abruptly changed the topic on me. But donkeys live up for 9 years or more. Why is that? Why 3 years for wolves and 9 years for donkeys? Donkeys live on because they are useful. That's apparently the way it is. She murmured these words as if she looked out the window impassively. So was this the thing that she told herself? To resign herself, to abandon herself to fate. The midwinter sky at sunset. Our progress straight through Route 21. The flickering white specks dancing in the twilight sky. It was starting to snow, and snow hard. Is something the matter? Yeah, it's snowing. And sure enough, it looked like there was snow covering the roadsides. I had no idea when we entered a region of heavy snow, but as far as the eye could see, everything was draped in white. This was somewhat concerning. As far as I could tell, these tires weren't of the studless variety. If we ran into any snow heavier than this, it was likely that we were going to be in trouble. Hey, does it snow here a lot? Huh? See, if it snows much more than this, it'll be tough. There wasn't any snow on the road right now, but it would be no surprise to encounter frozen road segments from here on out. And given that, it could be very well being necessary to equip tire chains, something that they hadn't gone over in training. So, do you know? After this, Kihara. Well, yeah, you told me that earlier, but what I want to know is if it snows here a lot. I don't know. She answered somehow desolate. And it made me feel that there was something incongruous here. For someone who knew the roads this well, who knew just about everything about this car, something like that should have been child's play. Very well, I'll just drive carefully. Okay. A beach. We had gotten off the car and were looking at a lake. A chilly wind kicked up, scattering a powder snow across the lake's frozen surface. And in its mist, she slowly began walking toward the beach, as if it were the ocean itself. This was a spectacle I'd seen before. So what do you think? Are you asking me whether I think you would die without much pain if you walked in? Yeah. I get the feeling that it might be easier here than in the ocean. I'm sorry, just the song. I have no idea what your basis for that is. Well, seawater is salty, and your body floats more easily. Quite a deductive ability you have there. Under the cold north wind and the falling snow, we argued jokingly. Seriously, who knew about our one end point? And after a while, she began walking toward the lake once more. So, aren't you going to stop me after all? You don't have any intention to die today, do you know? Do you now? No, I guess not. How much farther was it until this Awaji island of which we'd spoken? It wasn't as if I particularly wanted to go there, but I didn't have any problem with going there either. But though we'd wandered without a purpose until now, the seeds of a final destination were being born in us. The girl who had halted her progress towards the waters, even without my having to stop her. Most likely, that was the way it was for her too. Whoa, that's getting a little too fast there. Get back on Route 1 from here. Got it. From Route 8 back to Route 1, under the guidance of her navigation, we were now heading towards Kusatsu. Are we still okay on money? Yeah, we still have 30,000 yen or so. After we hit that clothing store, we only spent money on the convenience store food. Why? What up? What's up? Then, do you want to go get on the tollway? The tollway? Why? Can't we get there through the normal highways? Well, yes, we certainly can up until the very end. But for the final stretch, we have to get on the tollway for a while. I see, so that's how you get to Awaji Island. I didn't know it that well, but apparently in order to get there, we'd have to cross the bridge called Seto or something. Then get on the bypass from Kusatsu. Got it. Under her direction, I went from the Seta interchange to the Meishin Expressway. Compared to all the roads we'd been on so far, it was obvious that this was what a real expressway was. No traffic lights, a beautiful perspective, seemed pretty simple to even a beginner like me. But as I got on to the rightmost lane, I could hear a terrific sound behind me. At first I had no concept of a passing lane or anything, but as I got used to it, the expressway was almost fun. That's a pretty incredible car. Some car was passing us by at terrific speed, and without thinking, the two of us exchanged glances. And sure enough, from her passenger seat, she was looking at somewhat different from usual. Well, usually she'd been staring at the window into the distance. Today she was looking around at other cars with great interest. Speaking of which, she knew a lot about cars for some reason or another, didn't she? I pointed at the car that had just blown past us. Hey, what kind of car is that? A quiz to pass the time, see? Toyota Celica GTS. And the one we just overtook? Citroen Xera? Xera? Wow, you know a lot. To tell the truth, I didn't know whether she was right or not. But it was really pleasant to hear the words from her usual silent lips. So I kept plying her with questions. The blue one is a Mazda Urnos, and the red is an Alfa Romeo. She even told me about the two cars that were just passing us now. But I'm willing to bet you won't know what that is. I pointed to a truck, not a car, as I spoke. I wanted to see a little perplexity seep into that expressionless face of hers. So you don't know trucks that well then. Nissan Atlas 10. Oh wow, you're incredible. I've been planning on teasing her, but instead she'd gone straight over my head. Isn't that level of knowledge something to be proud of? Really? Yeah, I think you could toot your own horn about it. She had no words in response. It felt like she was blushing a little bit. So she loved cars after all. Then, when we get there, want to try driving? But, but I don't have a license. It'll be fine. Driving along the beach will be fun, don't you think? If we went all the way to Ulaji Island, then there would be lots of places without any people. And this car has a stick shift, so I thought she might have fun driving it. If you want, I'll teach you. Although, to be honest, I'm a complete beginner myself. Okay? And that, everybody, is the end of chapter 5, the number 1 route. The next chapter for the next video would be chapter 6, Echo. But that will be for another time. Hopefully you guys can all see me. It's getting dark in here in my house here. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.